Wow. That's literally what I can say. Just wow. What we have seen Solana pull off is something that is going in the history of crypto. You always hear, especially if you're an OG, obviously, if you're new to the markets, you might not understand this, but if you're an OG, you know how many different projects since Ethereum came into the play, how many different projects, were labeled as Ethereum killer. And we never saw anything that have come close. But I think that has changed. What Solana has done day in, day out, breaking records, on chain data doesn't lie. And just today we did see Solana breaking an all-time high, not in the price, but in its market valuation. And this is something we've been discussing on my channel pretty much over the past, you could say, 2 to 3 years. But especially the bear market, when the uncertainty was extremely, extremely high for Sol. But there were viewers of mine that were picking up Sol. They had done their due diligence and research, and they were accumulating while there was so much bloodbath, so much fear. And guess what? Those are the people right now that are actually enjoying the gains. And there's a famous saying in the crypto world: be greedy while others are fearful, be fearful while others are greedy. The people that were being fearful, the people that were being greedy when there was so much fear across the board are obviously the people that are, doing extremely, extremely well right now. Shout out to my boy Michael, who has stuck with me from the beginning. You deserve your gains. And obviously all the other people as well. But if you're looking at the overall markets, I'm sure at this point everyone understands as to what has happened. We did see the market flush, and what a coincidence. I spoke about this literally yesterday, that we are going to be due for some sort of a pullback, because let's face it, market is never going to go up straight in one line. There has to be a shakeout, and we did see that shakeout happen today. But what you're seeing is, despite so much red across the board, Solana's momentum can really be felt right now. You can see it's up 5% against even the big boys in the top 5 to top 10 projects. And that should just tell you how much momentum Sol has. And I think we're about to start retesting all-time highs sooner than a lot of people think. But let's continue. Before I do get into it, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in cryptocurrency. So look at this for yourself. The price of Solana, after seeing a little bit of a pullback, is currently sitting at $177. It's also up 13% in BTC compared with the market cap at 77.8 billion. And look at the 24-hour trading volume, guys. We're looking at $12 billion in volume over the past 24 hours, which has increased substantially over the past 24 hours. Again, not a surprise, but I'm going to share some interesting things that I believe has pushed the price of Solana higher than a lot of people expected. But let's face it, once we cross that specific resistance that I continue to talk about, things really have started to heat up. But let's take a look at what's happening. So we did see, number one, Solana's DeFi definitely getting a huge uptick over the past 24 hours. So we did see $4 billion in TVL, but obviously, that has kind of gone down. Obviously, the fact that, we did see Solana pull back a little bit, but, you're looking at about a $4 billion market cap. And if you want to put this into perspective, in just the last 2 weeks, you've seen an inflow of about 1.25 billion into the Solana ecosystem. Let that sink in. Insane stuff that we're experiencing right now, and I just can't wrap my head around what we're really seeing as of now. But let's continue. A really bad day for the bears. Anyone that was shorting, I'm sure they have completely felt the presence of Sol. You could see $5 million liquidated in shorts as Solana breaks through major resistance at $180. So anyone that was shorting obviously did get completely wrecked. But stay away from leverage trading, whether it's longing or shorting. Just stay away. There's too much manipulation that occurs, and if you're not experienced, even if you're experienced, guys, there's chances of you getting burnt out. So I would just say stay away from that. And then continuing this, this is quite interesting, and this tweet literally feels like yesterday. So this dude right here, posted this just a few months back. And you could see the screenshot was on Kraken, him just, showing everyone that, he's picking up Solana at a crazy cheap rate at 17.75 Can you believe it? And imagine how many people, we kind of discussed this in our update yesterday. Imagine how many people wish they could go back just a few months. We're not even talking about last year or like 10 years ago or 3 years ago. We're just talking about like 5 months, 5 or 6 months. If you kind of go back, I'm sure everyone wishes they could, reverse time and kind of get that opportunity. But no, I think that time is gone. But basically, you can see this person was able to accumulate at a cheap price, number one, and has big, like big, huge. So shout out to Soul Big Brain for that's crazy. I just still can't believe that as well. But that just happens, right? And continuing towards the top, you can see over 715 active wallets interacted with Solana ecosystem over the past 24 hours. And again, is this a surprise? No, absolutely not. But let's continue. So what we're seeing happening right now is obviously, like I said earlier, Bitcoin did see that flush, which is impacting everything, even Solana. But Solana is holding stronger against BTC. But what you're looking at the dominance index doing is it's still pulling down. And for altcoin holders, this is a great thing, because obviously usually uncertainty can cause the price of Bitcoin dominance skyrocketing, but I don't think people are worried. This is just a bunch of whales coming in and just shaking out the markets. And yeah, that's just really good for altcoin holders right now, because we're still at about 53.23% for that. So that's that. And if you're looking at BTC's price, obviously we did see this massive flush. If you want to put this into perspective, we did see a drop of about 10%. And that's totally okay. Obviously, if you are, a crypto OG, you're kind of immune to these kind of moves. But if you're new to the market, this could be really spooky. But, welcome to the ride. This is going to be a long journey. And, these types of moves will always happen. And it's better that you kind of get used to it. And what if I told you this 10% move is nothing? I've seen 50 to 70% drops on, BTC before. But obviously, institutions are in now. It just doesn't make sense to me that institutions will allow retail to get cheaper entry on Bitcoin. Just doesn't make sense. Yeah, of course we're gonna see flush happen throughout throughout the bull market, but them allowing retail to gain access to Bitcoin at a cheaper price just doesn't make sense to me. If it makes sense to you, do let me know down below. I would love to know your thoughts on that. But you're looking at Bitcoin holding at its previous support on November 10th of 2021, which was a previous cycle. But if this support is not able to hold, the next major support is around 64,900. So that's that. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to discuss our good old friend Solana. So just look at it. Just look at the chart. Let's just look at the chart for a few seconds. I'm sure you guys have looked at the chart by now. But here, let me just tell you what happened. So we did see Sol go up to $186. And, from that point, only a 40% increase to hit a new all-time high. And, where we're sitting at right now is something not a lot of people realize. We're sitting in the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, which we haven't seen since January 3rd of 2022. And honestly, all-time high conversations have started, and they're not unrealistic. But let's take it a step further. Actually, before I switch the chart to the hourly time frame, I want you guys to take a look at what happened. So we broke out of that resistance, and look where we went up to. The demand was really high. We went all the way up to this $186, and you do see some resistance at that point, and that's where the price kind of cooled off. But obviously, the fact that Bitcoin did see a little bit of a flash crash, you are seeing this support. You see the support, which of course kind of dates back to the same time frame. That exact same support is, where the price of Solana is currently sitting at, which is lovely stuff to see. But now let's shift our focus towards the hourly time frame, because this is where this is just a thing of beauty, to be quite frank with you guys. Look at it. Just look at after you broke out of that 166. This is that spot. After we broke out of the 166, this is where things have really gotten exciting. And I think we will see more upside now. I think we're just going to see the push towards the 23.6, because now the momentum Solana has for itself is just quite high. and I think all-time high is coming for Solana. So the next main resistance, of course, still is at its yearly high at 186, but honestly, I think we can see a push to the 23.6 fib zone in the next few hours as well, if Bitcoin is able to see even a little bit of a bounce going into Friday morning. So 23.6 Fibonacci resistance. Next one is around 11.5% gain from the current price levels, and honestly, that is where my eyes are glued on right now. So far so good. Crazy stuff happening. SPL tokens absolutely exploding. Meme coins on Solana absolutely exploding. NFTs absolutely exploding. Developer interest absolutely exploding. This is something that if you've been honestly through, like, you'd understand, through the bear market, you'd actually understand how huge of a deal this really is. But nonetheless, guys, if you were one of the people that were accumulating around this range, it doesn't hurt to lock in profits. Even if the price of Solana is going to skyrocket higher, locking in profits never hurts, okay? But have your exit strategies. I cannot stress this enough. During these times, we can kind of forget about our exit strategy, but that's not what you need to be doing. Make an exit strategy if you have not done so, and stick to it. It is going to help you in the long haul. But that is it for today's update. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you tomorrow in Crypto ZX, and peace out.